morning, Dave Weiss here with the AmoncArts.com video blog of the day. Today I want to talk to you about telling a better story. My son Chris recently was in the show, my favorite show, Children of Eden. Now I know that I've talked about this a little bit before, but please don't tune me out. There's a point behind this, because there's a reason Children of Eden is my favorite show. My son Chris played father, and honestly, you know, some of my theologian friends would probably be a little disturbed that I love this show so much, because there are some things about it that stray from the Bible. It's really about the first 9 chapters of the Bible, by the way. And they might, you know, question it. And there are things in it that I do scratch my head about. I think the picture of God is a little too fallible and some other things like that. But, you know, overall, this musical tells a great story, and it's not totally surprising. It's written by Stephen Schwartz, the guy who wrote musicals like Godspell and Wicked. I mean, the man knows how to tell a story. But, you know, there's something about this show that really hits me, and part of it is the lyrics. At the very end of the show, there's a song that's called In the Beginning. And part of the lyric of the song says, it starts off with the chorus challenging the audience. Basically, it says, our hands can choose to drop the knife. Our hearts can choose to stop the hating. For every moment of our life is the beginning. And you know, guys, that's an absolute truth. We have a lot of choices in this life, a lot of things that we can do to make a difference. Things we can do to change. And that last line, especially where it says every moment of our life is the beginning, that's so true. The old saying is so true. This is the first day of the rest of your life. You know, there's something that I really like to share, and that's that I don't usually like to tell people I'm a preacher. Because if I do, people start to do things. They start to say things. First of all, they make excuses about why they haven't been in church in a while. And for the record, I didn't ask. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to care about you. You know, that's part of why I went into this. The other thing is they get all these preconceived notions about how judgmental I'm going to be, or they have problems with this or problems with that, and, you know, as far as like their view of Christians and of ministers especially. And you know what? I've had those all too at one point in my life. You know, and so I really don't like to start off with that, because people already get a preconceived notion about me then. But the last reason that I don't like to tell them is because they'll look at me and assume that I have it all together. Guys, I don't have it all together, and I haven't always had it all together. There's a time in my life where I was a real mess. There was a time in my life where all I wanted to do was drink, and I was pretty sure I wanted to die. I was down that far. And you know, there's the line in the song I think that always touches me. It usually makes me cry, to be honest with you. It says, there is no journey gone so far. So far we cannot stop and change direction. No doom is written in the stars, it's in our hands. You know, that's a big part of what this whole thing about following Jesus is about. You know, when I was in that low place, you know, God brought someone into my life, my wife, Dawn, you know, and her whole family. You know, that they really came in and, you know, and they started off by welcoming me where I was. And they started off by, you know, really helping me to meet Jesus. They told a better story with their lives. You know, when I first found out Dawn's dad was a preacher, it was the day before we went out on our first date. And I took this, and I had an assumption about him as soon as I heard, and my assumption was that he would take one look at me and throw me out the door. That's the place where I was in. I had no idea about God. I had no idea about Jesus, and I had really no idea that he loved me. And when her dad met me, he accepted me right where I was. And he cared about me. And he started nudging me toward Jesus, and so did the rest of the family. They started showing me a better story, telling a better story. And folks, we as artists in the church especially, this is something I'm convinced that we are better prepared to do than anybody else. We can tell a better story. You don't have to be a theologian to tell the story of Jesus. What you need to be is somebody who's been touched and changed by Jesus. And if you will share that story, God will make a difference in your life. For anybody who might be watching that, who might be thinking that they've gone too far, that they're in too much of a mess, let me tell you this, that line in the song is absolutely true. There is no journey gone so far we cannot stop and change direction. You can always turn around. You can always turn around and turn to something better. And I'm here today to tell you that something better is Jesus. He has radically changed my life. Everything I've accomplished in my life is due to him. Everything that's ever gone right in my life is due to him. So take your choices, take everything you have, and just offer it up to him. And let him make a change in you. There's one more verse in the song that I really want to talk about, and it's real quick, and I'll make it really quick. It says, we cannot know what will occur, and that's true. None of us know what the future holds. And then it says this, just make the journey worth the taking. Man, that's my prayer, that God would make this journey worth it. And he has, and he will continue to. You know, all the hard times and all that other stuff, God can use it all. He has in my life. And I know he will in yours. So trust him and follow him. Make the changes you need to make. Do what you need to do, but follow him. He will never take you in the wrong direction. May God bless you. I'm going to be praying for you guys today. I just pray that God will do great things in your life and use you to tell a better story, because we have the best story of all. The story of a God who loves us, who came in human form to die in our place, to point us to a better way and save us for eternity. God bless. Take care.